Haiti is getting some ground help from Connecticut airmen. Plus, a discussion of concussions at the state capitol. Lawmakers are getting in the game to help student athletes. And also, USA basketball heads to Connecticut for a big-time game and maybe soon a big-time local commitment. Welcome to The Real Story. I'm Lori Perez. We begin today's show with an inspirational story of service, dedication, and you might say destiny. The Connecticut Air National Guard has started sending a select few troops to help in the relief effort in Haiti, including one with a very personal story from the ravaged island. Fox 61's Jim Altman brings us the story.
We've all seen the images and heard about the daily horrors in Haiti.
I don't want any glory for this.
But they literally hit home for 23-year-old Air National Guardsman Francisco Ramirez.
This is my native country. This is where I came from.
Ramirez, who lives in Manchester, signed up right away to aid the island. He's joining 22 guardsmen from the 103rd Civil Engineering Squadron who have volunteered to help.
My mother was in Haiti when it happened. Fortunately, she was okay. Nothing happened to her house. And a few days ago, she had the opportunity to leave the country, and she left.
But scores of friends and family remain in his homeland, desperate and destitute. Today at the Guard base in Windsor Locks, last-minute preps for their mission of mercy, estimated to last 4 months or more. The airmen's role down there will run the gamut from housing help and civil engineering to food service and planning. Their first priority when they arrive will be to start building tent cities.
Within that scope, we would also start to run power distribution, sanitary services, and clean water.
Ramirez will not only build tent cities, he'll bridge gaps. Having spent half his life in Haiti, he's fluent in French Creole. And tonight, the team is motivated for mobilization.
However long it takes, however long I'm needed, I'm going to stay down there.
Anywhere we can help. People are highly skilled and trained, and immediately you can tell that they got that Connecticut spirit behind them, you know, and they're right into the fight.
I don't want people to come up to me and say, oh, I'm proud of you for doing this. This is my duty. I have to do this. I need to do this. I want to do this.
In Windsor Locks, Jim Altman, Fox 61 News.
Now joining me now, Fox 61 reporter Jim Altman, Airman First Class Francisco Ramirez, and Colonel Frank DeTore, commander of the 103rd Airlift Wing at the Bradley Air National Guard Base. Thanks all for joining me. Airman Ramirez, let's talk with you first. I understand that your mom, she's okay now, but it was 3 days before you knew. Talk about how that time was for you as you were waiting to hear word.
Well, when I first heard the news, it was the morning after it happened. I checked my phone. I had a few text messages telling me that there was an earthquake in Haiti. I immediately went online and checked out the news, and right after that I called my mother, and I couldn't get in touch with her. So it was actually 5 days before I got to hear from her.
You must have been going crazy.
Definitely. I went to work. I couldn't focus on my job. It was very hard for me.
And then when you heard about this opportunity, I understand you rushed to aid.
Yes. I immediately called my supervisor, and I told him if there was any unit in the country at all that's leaving, I want to go.
Your mom is safe and sound, Airman, right? In the Turks and Caicos?
Turks and Caicos
That's
Island,
where she
yes.
is for now. We should talk to the Colonel now. Colonel, you had so many volunteers for this. You could only take so many airmen, but a lot of them volunteered for this, right? They just stepped forward.
Yeah, I couldn't be prouder of our folks. You know, the military's response to this disaster started with Washington sending out RFIs, or requests for information, where they asked for different skill sets and different specialties. One of those requests was for French Creole speakers, which I was sure we had none, and I was shocked to learn not only did we have one, but he was born and grew up in Haiti, and his mom still lived there. And he put up his hand real quick and wanted to go, and I knew immediately we had to get him down there. But there are a lot of other folks that pulled themselves, like Airman Ramirez did, pulled themselves out of college school or grad school, or put off other plans, pulled themselves away from their families or their jobs to go on and help other people and contribute to kind of ease the suffering of the Haitian people.
And that's what the Air National Guard is about, right? I mean, these are the ones you like to go on.
Absolutely. We talk all the time about how we're community-based and there to support folks. You know, to put it in a little bit of context, I think you need to understand that Connecticut National Guard right now is in a tremendous period of transition. Our history goes back many, many years flying fighter aircraft, and we've done that for a long time. We're steeped in that. The most recent Base Realignment and Closure Commission changed that. In 2008, they took our A-10 Warthogs away. And thanks to the governor, the adjutant general, and the Connecticut congressional delegation, we're able to secure a follow-on flying mission. We're going to the cargo mission. You saw some of the airplanes, the C-21s in the piece there, and eventually we're going to fly C-27s, an all-new cargo airlifter. But what's so important about what Airman Ramirez and the CE and services folks that we're sending down is about that mission is that it sends a message that we don't have to be out on the tip of the spear or out on the front line to make a difference, to do something that's important, to be relevant, and to contribute. These folks are going down, they volunteered, they're going down to help people, they're going down because they care, and they're going down to make a difference. And that's a big lesson for us in the middle of this transformation.
It is always good when you hear that your own hometown troops are representing. Certainly this is a perfect example of that. Airman, have you spoken to some of the other airmen who are down there, or Colonel, either one of you, and what are they telling you?
I have not spoken to any of our folks. Our folks are all in various stages of getting down there right now. I've got some in Florida, some in South Carolina, still waiting on airlift planes down there. What I've heard is they were short MREs, or meals ready to eat, and they were short mosquito netting. Those were the couple of things that I heard that they were asking for, and we've in the last 2 days we've sent some more of those kind of supplies on down.
But within the next week, they'll most likely all be down there?
Absolutely, absolutely. I expect some down there probably tomorrow.
Airman Ramirez, when you look at the footage of that, do you see places that are familiar, that seem less familiar now? Are you nervous about what you might see when you go down there?
Most definitely. I see places that I used to go to as a young child. I'm not sure what to expect. I've seen the footage on TV, and well, you can't really prepare yourself mentally for that. You can just only anticipate scenarios. So we're not really focused on the devastation that's down there. We're focused on the solution.
Right, and I understand that you would like to send a message. You want to send a message to people.
Yes, if I could send a message to all my friends and family that are back in Haiti, I would say, "Prends courage, priez, n'a vini," which means be encouraged, keep praying, we're coming.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
That's great.
French Creole, I told you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they're going to be relying on you extensively.
French Creole.
How much do you think his language will be relied on? I mean, obviously,
well, I think it'll be a tremendous asset. I mean, the numbers have got to be so few and far between of U.S. military folks that we can go down there with that skill set and talk to the people and relate to what they're going through, and then try to help them, that he'll be critical down there. There's no doubt in my mind. And, you know, his connection with the country brings an added sense of purpose for him. So he'll really be fantastic down there.
We talked about a number of the skill sets that you guys have, from building those tent cities, which is obviously paramount, but you work on the runways and something called mortuary services. I mean, can you talk about that, Colonel? I mean, there's just really an array of different disciplines that you guys are proficient in.
The folks that we're sending down now are civil engineers and what we call services squadrons. And the civil engineers do what you would expect civil engineers to do. They build things, they do waterworks projects, roads, asphalt. The services folks do our bed down functions, they do lodging, they do food services, they also do mortuary affairs. Now, I can tell you that right now we know they're going to do forced bed down. They'll be some of the first U.S. troops in country to establish a tent city and get facilities for the follow-on forces to come in behind them and live. It's not too tough to imagine how civil engineers and services squadrons work real well together. You know, the civil engineers will construct the tents, and the services folks will provide cots and bedding for them to sleep in. And the civil engineers will construct a mess hall or a chow hall, and the services folks will prepare and serve the food in that chow hall. So it's something they do a lot of. They work well together, and it's going to be fantastic for me to see, you know, those two organizations and part of the Connecticut Air Guard in action down there and bringing help to the Haitian folks.
Is there anything that the public can do to support you? I know this is going to be 4 months at least long.
I can't talk to charities or any of that part. What I would say is, and this is a great forum for this, is a better understanding of what your Connecticut Air Guard, these are Connecticut citizens, okay? They live in your community, they work there, they raise their kids there, and they're the folks that are stepping up to do this. They're the folks that are volunteering for these kind of missions. So, you know, if you see them, pat them on the back and thank them, and know that we're here to serve this community and any other community that's in need.
Right. And Airman, I know you said you didn't want people to say that they were proud of you for doing it, but we certainly are.
Yeah, we are. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Give him a pat on the back, too.
He's great.
All right.
Thanks, all of you. Thanks again to Fox 61 reporter Jim Altman, to Airman First Class Francisco Ramirez, and to Colonel Frank DeTore. Coming up next, we're going to talk to the experts about when to get your kid back in the game or not after they get hurt, and why state lawmakers are getting involved in helping make that decision.